Alright, YouTube, we are back with some more Higurashi. Last time, the torturous origins of the Sonozaki family with Mao's little tactics. And, I just want to get right back into it. It's been like a hot minute since I've recorded some Higurashi. And this art's been super good, so let's continue on. Mao arrived at the Frude house late at night. Okay, Mao.
いえ、大丈夫です。主人も風花もたった今寝たところですから。さっき君吉の本家に行ったら、しのさんはこっちだって聞いてね。
Another little meeting here. Oh, that's right. Dude, I totally forgot. I totally forgot what happened at the end. Sorry, all I remembered was the torture thing. Yes, they did find out that the person who commissioned the bandits to steal the medicine was the feudal lord. So literally the worst opponent because it's the fucking feudal lord. Oops, sorry. Let's go. Yeah, what to do about it? Who knows, man? Who knows? Mao and Ota sat down with those words, followed by Shino, who had been visiting the Furudes to take care of the sick Shoji. I couldn't see their faces well because they were only illuminated by candlelight, but the sound of their voices spoke volumes of the situation. I'd imagine not.
漁師様から正式にお呼びがかかって、お屋敷に出頭したおじきがさっき戻ってきた。簡単に言えば、鬼の薬はこの国全体の3倍になる。
Classic government. They're doing something free when we can make millions off it. Yoink it. Shit pisses me off, though. I do think they probably should have made a little money off it, to be honest. It's a great business opportunity. What can I say, man? But nah, Oka and the rest are angels for giving out the free medicine, man. I'm too corrupted by Canadian society. In this region, members of the Sonozaki family had held the position of regional governor for generations, a position that involved supervising the annual tribute and instructing the village as per the feudal lord's role. Damn, even back then, Sonozakis still had political power in a way, political hold. And after the former governor, Mao's husband, passed away, her uncle on her father's side of the family was serving in that role until her son came of age.
それでは、出来上がった薬を全部お上が買い上げるということですか？いや、もっと悪い。
Mao scratched her hair with teeming irritation and clutched her head. Then, just as Shino and Oko were exchanging concerned glances, Mao took a letter out of her pocket and opened it.
それは領主様直々の申し渡し書だ。薬の製作者は鬼の薬の処方箋、つまり薬の原料と調合を
Oh, that's really bad. That's pretty bad, man. They can't replicate it because they're using fucking unused machine thing to make it. While Ota tilted her head in confusion, Shino groaned with reproach. It seemed Mao felt the same as her, as she just sighed and shook her head. They're not even letting us make it, dude. They're not gonna pay for our production. How bit of an F you can... How much more of an F you can you get? Okay, there we go. Perfecto. Hey, do not give them the prescription. They're gonna fucking shoot up that price. You gotta control it a bit.
薬を収めるだけなら原料の採取と調合はこの鬼ヶ
Yeah.
淵村
No money, no clout.
あなた多かっても処方箋を渡せば
This is what makes Hinamizawa special.
できるようになってしまう。大違いよ。それに
Oka, you're too kind.
何かって
Think of yourself for once. I mean, I guess Oka didn't make it herself, so yeah, I guess she wouldn't feel a little less detached, but still, man.
あんたが苦労して見つけてきた薬の処方がほとんど二足
Should ask Hanyu's opinion for making it.
そうか。
After being told that, Oka finally understood what Mao and Shino were so worried about. Shino and Mao looked at each other and shrugged in exasperation when they saw that reaction of the woman who never even considered profit or reward.
まったくあの薬はあんたが作ったんだろ。だったら少しくらい処方に費やした努力の報酬をよこせって言ってもバチは当たらないのにさ。努力と言われても
True? Kinda.
私はお社様の信託を受けてこの薬の作り方を教えていただ
You
いた
did
だ
have
け
to
です。
convince her, though. You did have to put a little work into it, into getting her to give you the recipe.
私が何かをもらう言われはありませんよ。そういう無欲なのが王家のいいところなんだけどね。それでもあなたが神のお告げを聞いたおかげで
True, you did save them.
たくさんの人が
You didn't make the medicine, but you played a big part in saving them.
それは事実なんだから存分に誇ってもいいのよ。はあ。
Oka admits feelings about being complimented like that. She had indeed wished for many lives to be saved, so she was really happy. Oh, so she really was happy. But the one who actually made the medicine wasn't her, but Hanyu. Still, Hanyu wouldn't have done it without Oka's persuasion. So just in that sense, Oka did play a huge part in it. Her friend who willingly accepted my unreasonable request and fulfilled it in the best way possible. To have others use her kindness and praise Oka for it only made Oka embarrassed. I can understand that perspective. For sure. It made sense. It's just kind of weird. Getting praise for something you didn't do, but you can't really say you didn't do it.
とりあえず漁師様はその処方箋と引き換えに今年の年貢
Hey!
困窮状態の村人たちのために
I mean, that's a... Hey, at least the village is making something off it if they do give the medicine away. That's something.
ただし鬼の薬に関しての管理はすべて漁師様のものとなり私たちは
Oh, new tax just dropped. At least, like, give us packages for free. We gave you we help you make the goddamn medicine. You can tax the other people. Be nice, man.
確かに村としての収益は増えるし悪い条件ではないだろう。だけど処方箋を渡すとなると
Yeah.
この先事情が変わって
Who the fuck knows, man? I don't know if they're contract bound, and even if they are in a feudal system, it doesn't really exist. Contracts don't really exist for the feudal lord.
鬼ヶ淵村以外の原料を使ってどの薬師でも調合が可能となればこの村にわざわざ頼まなくても
It is super valuable. It might be better. I mean, you can't really say no though, right?
そうなると当然漁師様に専売品として買い上げられる際額は安く叩かれることになる。この額で納得がいかないなら
Solo ploy.
よその場所で仕入れるとでもいい。そんなところでしょう。そして1000倍となると 私たちで自
Yeah,
由に売りさばくこともできなくな
obviously.
る。もちろん桜花が今やっているような無料で配布なんてご法度。
Yeah, that's also true. Can't do charity work.
そして毎年一定量の納入義務があるから桜花以外にも調合を手伝う人手が必要。明るい未来。
Oh, dude, maybe I misunderstood that. I thought what he was saying that the village has to buy a set amount of medicine. But no, we just had to make it for him. Which made sense. More sense, I guess. That was like kind of like, oh, that's just a new tax, huh? And we'll have to buy a fixed amount from him every year. Yeah, that's what it reads like. It reads like a medicine tax. I don't know. Whatever. It can be both, I guess. Oka gripped her collar with a dispirited expression at this initially unexpected turn of events. She could tell very easily from listening to them that it was by no means something to be happy about. If anything, they seemed disconcerted by the excess worries and work they'd been handed.
やっぱり間違いだったんだろうか。
You're not wrong, but just because sometimes, even when you're right, it doesn't mean everything will go well, you know? That question stung at Oka's heart and saddened her. She'd relied on Honey's power simply because she wanted to save those suffering from the illness, and above all else, to protect her husband and daughter, her family. But now, even the feudal lord had gotten involved, and a huge wave of conflicts of interest had swept all over Onidofuchi village.
その申し渡し書に再検討をお願いする余地はないこともないと思う。
Had a little wiggle room. Love to hear that.
私の勝手な想像だけど、漁師様は状況を正確に理解していないようだ。模倣が簡単にできるようならすぐにでも実施に移すつもりらしいけどね。でももし原料の採集と製作に手間と技術、そして知識が必要だったら
You gotta act like this is literally the hardest thing to make in the world, I guess. Gotta push it to that angle.
すべての桜花の処方箋の内容次第だ。いずれにせよ、処方箋の提出は絶対条件なのですね。
Make it a fucking essay. Essay of instructions on ingredients. Oja sighed and dejectedly slumped her shoulders. When she says that, Shino couldn't help but be ashamed of their powerlessness. The kind-hearted Oka wasn't used to this dark and greedy side of the world. The two of them were the ones who were supposed to quietly handle it in her place, and yet...
Oka.
Just then, Mao, who had been looking around while hesitating to say something, finally made up her mind, looked up, and asked Oka a question. Enter he?
Oka は夢の中でお社様から処方についてお告げをもらってあの薬を調合したって言ってたよな。それ本当なのかい？
Not exactly, but might as well be true.
ええ、本当です。マオさん、ひょっとしてあなた、オオカが嘘をついているとでも？
This is literally, you know, the meme. Source? Where did you answer that? And then he responds, it came to me in a dream. That's my source, bitch.
まさか。私はオオカを全面的に信じているし、そもそもこの子が嘘を言うなんて、お天道様が西から昇る以上にありえないっての。
That's probably a fair assumption to make, honestly. She's just that kind-hearted.
だけど、もしそうだとしたら、処方箋をあんた以外の人間に教えると、
Yeah.
問題は起こらないだろうか。
She didn't technically, like, work hard to, like, write it or whatever. It's what she's getting at.
例えば、
Oh. Oh, never mind. I thought that's what she's getting at, so that's why Ota doesn't care that much. But yeah, I guess if you assume it really was like instructions from a god, then yeah, that could fucking piss off the god. That's a great point, Mal.
たたりですか？
Hanyu's wrath sends giant jumbo jet sized uh, cream puffs down on Hinamizawa, just coating the place red or white. Maybe a little red. I don't know. How a giant. It might kill you, honestly. That's how big a jumbo jet uh, cream puff is. Ota pictured Hanyu for a moment and struggled not to burst out laughing. Damn. But it would have been rude for her to do so. Mao wasn't joking. She was seriously worried about the possibility of getting cursed by Oyashiro-sama. Since Mao and Shino were unaware of who and what Oyashiro-sama truly was, they were terrified of it. That's why they were seriously asking for Ota's opinion. It made sense, man, especially back in those days when basically like the religion golden age where everything was at their peak popularity.
あなたはどう思う？私はそうですね。
Ota cleared her throat and quietly looked at the floor, lost in thought. Judging from how Hanyu normally acted, it was hard to believe she'd ever deliver any sort of wrath that would harm the villagers. Thus, she could answer no to that with almost certainty, absolute certainty. However, even if that were the case, it was a different story altogether about whether she'd help them. Ota recalled the stern warning Hanyu had once given her. It is true.
分かってください、王家。
Not only did she break the rules for the village, but now it's gonna be abused by a fucking feudal lord.
過ぎたる技術や得意な恵みはかえって無用な争い
Called
を
it,
呼び
nerds. But to be fair,
元ともなりかねない。
and then if Hanyu didn't do that, then Ota's family would be dead, or at least her husband, and a lot of the villagers would be dead, so... It's good and bad, you know?
村人すべてを本当の意味で救うというのならば、その先のことまで考えを巡らせなくてはいけないのです。
Did she consider hard enough?
ただこの病をこの村から追い出しただけで済む話ではないのです。無理だ。絶対断られる。
It'd be one thing if it meant saving lives, but she never agreed to help when it came to preserving the village's wealth and standing. But the feudal lord's orders were absolute. If they defied him, they'd likely not just be risking themselves, but also their families and the whole village.
王家。少し時間をもらえますか？
Ota refrained from giving an absolute answer. She just told Mao and Shino that she'd have an answer for them the day after tomorrow, and went to her bedroom to check on her husband and daughter. Fuka. Ota sighed as she walked down the hallway.
どうしてこんなことになってしまったのだろう。
Those regrets and confusion whirled around her heart, the gloom suffocating and weighing down on her shoulders. Meanwhile,
いいですよ。
in the shed. Hey, mommy got your back.
教えることについては私に特に依存はありません。
But can they really replicate it? Can they really do what the machine's doing? It's the big question.
少々時間がかかってしまいますが、手順通りに行えば。
Oh, okay, never mind. Hanyu already has the answer for that. Classic Hanyu, why do I need to ask? Ever ask? Ota empathized that to me with a puzzled look on her face. She was probably thinking I'd refused, judging from our conversation the other day. I wouldn't say it was unexpected, but I did feel she was worrying too much.
この薬を世に出した時点ですでに覚悟していたこ
Yeah,
とです。
I know she knew, huh?
それに別に私が明かさなくても知識のある人間が薬自体を調べればいずれ中身を解析できるでしょう。
True.
それが遅いか早いかの違いだけですよ。よかった。ありがとう、羽生。
Ota heaved a sigh of relief and bowed her head. However, there was a different pressing concern I had about her.
しかし、王家、それで本当にいいのですか？え？この薬を飲めば、この地は愚か、全国で蔓延している例の疫病をすべて治癒させることができます。それで、本当に大丈夫なのですか？
And it's just isolated in this part of the country.
ええ、もちろんよ。より多くの人が救われるのなら素晴らしいことじゃないの。
Oh. Oh, that's what she meant. The opposite. Okay, I was thinking something completely different.
あなたは人の悪意をよく理解していませんね。
Ota's eyes widened. I sighed and carefully explained it to her.
その薬があれば助かる。しかし、なければ死ぬ。
Yeah. It's that price is getting fucking literally put on a rocket ship into the moon, man. It's
その
getting
生き死にがかかった
fucking
状況
boosted.
で薬を売りさばけば、どのような事態になると思いますか？
Your house or you die. They all would likely desperately seek it in order to live, amplifying demand, and so the seller would likely raise prices to make a killing. Classic. And the more the value of the medicine spread through the world, the more people are willing to resort to illegal methods to get it for themselves. In fact, it had already happened. We've seen it with our eyes. At the very least, even if the medicine contributed to the treatment of the disease, it was very much possible it affect other areas too.
過ぎたるものを世に広めれば、それをめぐって欲望と思惑、そして衝突と争いが生まれます。人を救うものであったはずなのに、それが逆に人を苦しめるものへと変わること。
Yeah, I know what Hanyo's saying. It sucks, man. Not much you can do about it though, unless you do want to keep. I mean, she can't even do that, or I feel like the feudal lord wouldn't let them say no properly, or for reals.
その危険を理解した上で、あなたはその責任を背負うことができますか？私は王家が村人たちを救いたいという願いを叶えるつもりでこの薬をあなたに渡した。そしてあなたは願い通りこの村を救った。それで十分だったはずです。なのにその規模は拡大して、
Yep, I already fulfilled the
あなたの意
wish.
志など届かないところにまで達
But
して
you never know what happens, man. It sucks. It sucks, but it's bound to happen, man. You can't just give free miracle medicine and spread it throughout the freaking province. Obviously, it would catch the attention of head figures, and obviously they would want to capitalize on it. It just never ends without that happening unless she just restricted it to the village and didn't branch out so it wouldn't become well known.
違いますか？うん、違わないわ。
Olga guiltily hung her head and looked down. The fact that she so obediently accepted that meant she had done a lot of thinking before coming to me, and had grown to question her actions. If this were only about treating those suffering from the plague all over the nation, like how she saved the village, Ota probably wouldn't have hesitated to ask for my help. However, the interests of multiple parties were far too transparent this time. Therefore, she couldn't believe in any assurances that she was making the right choice. She was making the right choice.
私の今やろうとしていることは薬で人を救うことじゃない。その薬で この村を潤すこと。最初の目的とは
Yeah,
明らかに違っているし、そもそも
I get that. I
命
know
の
why
救
she's
済
saying
に
that.
対価をつけるなんてことは、医薬に身を置く立場でもない私が行うのは僭越で傲慢な行いよ。分かっているの。それくらいは。それどころか、もっと違う意味での不幸を招き入れる種を生み出しているだけかもしれない。あなたの言う通りよ。この薬はたくさんの人を救ってくれた。でもそれが誰かによこしまな思いを抱かせることになるなんて考えもしな。そうか。
She's growing. Even I know that. Ota truly had wanted to save people out of pure kindness, of course. Of course, initially that was also rooted in her desire to not embarrass her revered parents. Even so, Ota managed to realize that mistake and had a change of heart. That was why I decided to help her. Despite that, the fools of this world plotted to fatten themselves on that kind, sensitive heart and cruelly minced it up. Hey man, Shino's... Don't blame Shino. I mean, it's tough for her, plus Ota wanted to separate at an early age. I was displeased with my old friend who had driven Ota into this situation, yet couldn't offer her aid. Just the other day, I had been re-evaluating their relationship as beyond mother and daughter, so my disappointment was immense. Of course, I could understand that Shino had her own position to deal with, and that she was coming up with measures to deal with the situation. But that wasn't helpful anymore. It wasn't enough. What was needed to protect Ota and her family was the resolve to destroy everything. So I couldn't help but speak my mind, even though I was sure she would never accept my proposal. Nope, it's already not happening. Hanyu is a Hinamizawa hater.
あなたがこの村にいる限り、鬼の薬を求める声は収まらない。逆に言えば、あなたさえいなくなれば、
Return to its normal ecosystem. Ota gasped and froze. Indeed, put it in a more blunt and ugly way, Ota was truly a burden on Anidafuchi village. Due to Ota's offering medicine that offered salvation from the fatal disease, those who initially sought life came to seek riches, had arrived at this village bearing their greed. As a result, trouble had quickly returned to the village, whose residents were finally living peaceful lives after having been rid of the demons. So then, what would happen if Ota were to leave? Shino and the villagers would likely look all over trying to find out where she went. The feudal lord might also send out a search party. But if she managed to give them the slip, the ones who knew how to make the medicine would no longer be in Anidafuchi village, and eventually all the medicine would run out. Once that happened, bandits and the feudal lord would likely be forced to give up on getting rich off the medicine, and lose interest in Anidafuchi, bringing peace back to the village. That actually kind of made sense, but you don't know what the response could be from the feudal lord. He might start like killing people or whatever. It could definitely end badly, but I get the idea. So, if Ota just left Anidafuchi village, all would be resolved. It was reckless and cruel, but it was the most effective way, perhaps the only way, in this situation. Ota clenched her fist and held back bitter emotions. If there was anyone kind enough to find more happiness in other people's bliss, it would be Ota. So while I knew it wasn't fair to word it like this, I continued my argument.
今までにもあなたと話してきた私だから、村を捨てたくない気持ちはよくわかっています。ですが、あなたがいることで、あなたの愛した人々が傷つくという
Leaving the loved
あな
ones.
たはここにいるべきではない。
Sure, that made sense. But also, at the same time, her leaving would also just hurt the loved ones in a different way, so.
あな
Eh.
たが不幸せの原因を作っているのだとしたら、あなたもきっと幸せだとは感じられないのではありません
I
か。
don't know how I feel about this. I get Hanyu's point, but. Like, I just, what else could you really do unless if you really don't want to give the medicine? It's either this or that, so.
それに、出ていくと言っても村を捨てるという意味ではありません。騒動が収まって全てが片付いたらまた戻ってくればいいだけの話です。それまではどこかに身を潜め、あなた自身も傷ついた心を休めて癒してはいかがでしょう。羽生、安心してくだ
It's
さ
not
い。
really the path of a leader, though.
あなたの
Running
夫、
away and let it die
そ
down.
して娘、3人が平和に暮らしてゆけるだけの環境は私が好みに変えても守ってみせます。誓ってもいいです。そしてあなたたち家族が鬼ヶ淵村に戻るその時まで、私はあなたのことをずっと見届けましょう。どうですか、王家。
Nope. She's trying to say no. Ota neither raged nor rejected me, and instead fell silent as she became lost in thought. Perhaps my choice of words had been more effective than I'd expected. And just as I started to open my mouth to urge her to answer, even though I assumed she turned me
ご
down.
めんなさい、羽生。
I wasn't listening. Did you repeat? I'm joking. No, the sad music.
少しだけ、
Bad vibes incoming.
少しだけでいい。考える時間をもらえるかしら。王家、あなたの言うこと、とてもその通りだと思う。でもまだその決意を固めるだけの勇気が
It's a rough choice,
私には
man.
ない。
Especially abandoning your husband and your tiny child for who knows how many years, even. It just sucks.
だからもう少しだけ心の整理をさせてもらってもいい？
This was a shock. Never thought she'd agreed to leave the village. I was just joking, bro. It was for that reason. I could see the depths of Ota's concern in this pained expression on her face. In the pained expression. Even as she abandoned the village, she was still thinking about how to resolve the current issue. Was she truly that concerned?
わかりました。それでは私は今求められている分の薬だけでも作っておきましょう。明日の昼頃には出来上がるので神社に持っていきますね。ええ、ありがとう。それじゃあ。
Ota said that and left the ritual storehouse with a smile. I proceeded to head for Ryuo in Onigafuji to make the medicine. Damn, man. It's rough for Ota. Alright, I think we're gonna call it here, boys. So, Ota has a tough decision. I assume she doesn't leave, but again, what's the answer? It's either give the prescription to the government and they'll monopolize it and kind of fuck over the village, which hurts the family, or Ota can leave and who knows what will happen, but if all goes well, then she just needs to lay low and eventually they'll forget about it, and in a couple years she can reunite with her family. But just being separated for that amount of time is going to be super rough on Ota herself, so there's no great answer here, sadly. But super excited to see how this will play out in the next episode. So thanks for watching as always, and I will see you later. Bye.